So this is the beginning of the end for Dwight Howard. And before I get into this video, I want to show you guys several clips of how childish Dwight Howard used to be. How he used to backstab his own coach, and the way he portrayed himself and the way he acted, the way people felt about him. I'm going to show you a couple of clips. Everything you do in life, people, take this as a life lesson. It's how the Bible verse said, you reap what you sow. And Dwight Howard is reaping everything that man sowed. So of course, enjoy these clips, and after these clips are over, I'll get back to you guys and put my input. But enjoy, and I'll get back to you guys in minutes.
Oh, yeah. So what a strange way for this day to start in Orlando. You had the shoot-around press conference in which Stan Van Gundy said, you know, they've been talking about this for 2 or 3 weeks, that he said, yeah, Dwight Howard went to management and said he wants Stan Van Gundy out. Now, let's just listen to what happened today, and we'll talk about it. Roll it.
Do you believe that Dwight has asked for you to be fired?
Yes, I know he has, so.
And how do you know it's true?
I was told it was true by people in our management. So, you know, right from the top. Well, obviously it'll be a management decision. They have to make the decision, but I ain't worried about that, so.
Yeah, Stan, we're not worried about that, right?
That's what I just said. We gotta be worried about winning games.
Yeah, what's our main concern right now? Jameer.
We have to stop Carmelo Anthony and the New York Knicks tonight.
And the New York Knicks.
That's exactly
That's
right.
the plan, right?
That is the plan. That's what I just said.
Is Dave Ping here today? The guy who started this BS?
I don't see Ping here.
Me neither.
Are you guys done with me?
Yeah.
Let's all
We can talk to him now.
All right.
Jameer.
Stan just said that you wanted him fired.
I said that?
No, that's what Stan said.
Who did I say that to?
According to I don't know. I'm just telling you.
I'm asking you, since you guys got so many sources.
Your coach said he heard it from management.
I didn't hear anything.
I'm just telling you what he
And
said.
I'm just telling you.
As awkward an interview situation as can possibly be conceived with the arm around. He walks up after Stan Van Gundy has said, yeah, look, management told me, Dwight asked. And then he comes up not hearing what Van Gundy had said, and then it's like, you need anything else from me? Awkward.
The reason we were winning with 5 minutes to go is because we moved the ball, we ran, got easy shots, and you know, our coach has to recognize, you know, when he has a certain group out there and they're getting the job done, you have to leave those guys on the floor.
Sources out there are saying that Dwight Howard is willing to sit out the rest of the season and the playoffs if Stan Van Gundy remains the Magic head coach. Dwight Howard, he sat down with our own Hannah Storm and addressed the recent rumors about what was going on with him and Coach Stan Van Gundy. Take a listen.
It was just bizarre how the whole thing happened, you know, but I haven't said anything this season, you know, to anybody in management about, you know, yeah, we need to do this with Stan or this, you know, or vice versa. You know, they never said, hey, we'll do this for you. So it just kind of threw me off, you know.
Have you said it in past seasons?
Have I said it before? Mm-hmm. Being upset, yeah, you know, I said it, you know, but.
Stan just said that you wanted him fired.
I said that?
No, that's what Stan said.
Who did I say that to?
According to I don't know. I'm just telling you.
I'm asking you, since you guys got so many sources.
Your coach said he heard it from management.
I didn't hear anything. I've always come back and said, you know, I'll do a better job. You know, I'll take more of a hit.
All right, Israel, we're going to play a little game. You get 2 choices. You keep Dwight Howard or you keep Stan Van Gundy. Who you got?
This is going to sound crazy because to not keep a guy who you can put in the top 4 or 5 of the MVP balloting pretty much every year since he broke out, it seems like a huge mistake because the players are always more important than the coach. But I would take Stan Van Gundy.
You are crazy. Israel, that is crazy. You are crazy.
Really?
Really?
Yes.
The reason is, okay, you've got this guy who now has more power, you could say, than he's ever had with the organization. He has no clue what to do with it. You have no idea whether he's going to say one thing or say a different thing. And right there in that clip, he didn't say he didn't ask for Stan to go. He said, Didn't do it this year. It could have been a standing request for him. He could have gone in there and said from the beginning, look, if I ever have my choice, I want Stan out of here. Okay? It was a very weak denial. Okay? Stan, having the Magic, since he's gotten there, have the 4th best record in the league, ahead of behind only, you know, some of the best in the, obviously in the league.
Yeah.
So he has proven with different groups of people that he can coach a team and get the best out of that
Now,
team.
wait a minute.
So
You say different groups of people, there's one mainstay. Let's not
No, it's
Different
not. I'm
folks
talking
to
about
support the
with
best
Heat.
win percentage.
He had three different groups basically in 3 years with the Heat.
How many
okay?
championships did he
So he's been to the finals, okay, with Rashard Lewis as his power forward. Did a great job with Ryan Anderson as his power forward. I'm saying if you can get a very good return in trading Dwight Howard, Stan's going to be able to coach that team to its highest level, the best you can get out of it, and they're going to be a contending team. If you get proper value for Dwight, I think he is more of a sure thing than what you're going to get with Dwight, because Dwight has no idea what it's going to be like to play for a coach that's not Stan Van Gundy and not that style of coach.
Layup, and the back injury certainly a part of it. And
but he's let everybody know ad nauseum that his back hurts, okay, and that he's not 100%. That's not what people are upset about as he gets fouled on the drive to the rim. That's not what they're upset about. They're upset about his waffling constantly on everything. And this idea that he has to have less touches now, you're the one that wanted out of the situation in Orlando where you were the featured guy. So this is what I've ascertained that he wants, that would make him happy. Highest paid player on a championship caliber team, first option offensive threat in a big market with no pressure, no responsibility, and no one to prod him from a coaching standpoint. And where do you find that in the NBA? What he should do is just say, I want it out, I want it here, I'm going to make it work here.
Well, even just, for example, in the past week, he apologized for complaining about his touches. He said he acted immature. He vowed to improve his demeanor and go out and dominate defensively. And all those things are right. And that he said it, but it comes down to actions have to speak louder than words.
And frankly, in the last 2 games, he has looked more engaged as Durant gets fouled. But you should not have to beg an NBA player for energy, effort, and unselfishness. Because you're not getting touches doesn't give you the right to hold your team hostage by not giving your very, very best. And I would say this, when Gasol was asked to come off the bench, he doesn't have the right to mope around either. Hey, listen, you may not like anything, but I'll say this. If Manu Ginobili can come off the bench in San Antonio and never say one word, so can you.
And when you look at Howard's capability, and you've talked about this, in fact, I always remember something that your brother Stan said when he coached Dwight Howard, that he affects more possessions on both ends of the floor than anyone in the NBA. That's what he's capable of doing.
He loved coaching him. Howard had extremely successful years there. And you know what, Mike? It's funny. Somebody asked me the other day, to me, would you coach him? I would love to coach a guy with his level of talent and basketball IQ. But he's just right now, to me, he's been erratic. He's sort of lost his way because he's focusing on things that have really to the detriment of his performance. He's the best center in basketball. And he should play that way.
As Durant knocks down that shot. Well, again, in the last week with everything coming down, the right things were said, but until it's done, out on the floor, night in and night out like he used to do in Orlando.
And I think Bryant's going out of his way to try to make the right play and help him, and that's good.
But it clearly has not been an easy transition. Those two, they approach the game and the way their demeanor is on opposite ends of the spectrum at times.
One is ultra serious about his profession. The other a little bit more lighthearted. Not a little bit, very lighthearted. But again, it comes down to this is a performance business. And you look at his numbers, any other center, you look at the numbers, would be ecstatic over what he's done.
Leads the league in rebounding. Okay. He's also 4th in the NBA in block shots, 4th in field goal percentage. So some of the numbers are incredible.
Right. but he has so much ability, he can do more. And when you look at it, listen, he said he wants to be a post-up guy. You know, I love the way they're posting him today. On the move, off the pick and roll, just like he played like in Orlando. He's not a guy you can go to and just run straight post-ups to and expect that to carry you home. He's a high turnover, low free throw percentage guy, and he's not going to be a go-to guy on a team that wins a championship. He's got to have other offensive players around him.
He certainly has that. World peace keeps it alive. Bryant out to Nash. Just over 5 minutes gone by here in the second. Gasol lobs it up to Howard, and Thabit bumps him. So the two big men working well together there. And that's where they can work well together because Gasol is such a skilled passer. Thabit picks up his third foul.
I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. Dwight Howard is a guy that's extremely hard to work with. A guy that's childish, thinks everything's a game, he's a bonehead. And he ran Stan Van Gundy out the door. And essentially his career was never the same. He went to the Lakers, and as soon as Dwight Howard went to the Lakers, that went from the Lake Show to the shit show. Had the man been more humble throughout his career, who knows how good he could have been. But he ran Stan Van Gundy out the door. He went to the Lakers, refused to sign with them because Kobe Bryant was too tough on him. But then he went to the Rockets, went behind James Harden's back, talking about how they should trade James Harden. And luckily, management chose James Harden over Dwight Howard. But this is the beginning of the end for Dwight. And Dwight's going to have to learn a very terrible lesson. And it's a shame that that man never capitalized on all the opportunities he had. He took everything as a joke, and he never took responsibilities for his own actions. He always blamed others. Nothing was ever his fault. Guess what? Now he's in the Charlotte Hornets. If he doesn't do good in this team, this will be the last team he goes to. Thank you for watching JPTV.